That's right, Hans. All right. Go ahead, sit back down. It's another mail day, so cheers. I know I look a little sunburnt, but that's what happens when you work outside most days. So cheers to that. I have a nice stack of stuff to go through. Movies, DVDs, albums on CD. So let's get into it. This first one, this comes from eBay. This is Thriller, A Cruel Picture. This is something that I remember vaguely watching on one of those cable channels in the hotel room. It's Slock from the 70s, where when you tuned into stuff, it was you tuned in for titties, you tuned in for the sex and the violence, and tons of violence. It didn't matter what. And I was bringing that up with people talking about the new Citizen Vigilante movie, and I was like, it just reminds me of Death Wish. And someone brought this one up, and I was like, oh yes, I fucking recall this vaguely. So, went to eBay immediately and picked this up. So the next one I think in this stack also relates to this. So I'm happy to add this to my collection and watch it. I wanted to get the one that had the special features and stuff. Came out in '74. So, anyone else interested in that, I mean, you can get it pretty cheap on eBay. The end. Next one up. Let's see. Don't know if it's eBay or what I ordered specifically. Yes, Hans. You are the best boy at this moment. Everyone else is asleep. Yes, this one's also from eBay. This is one that somebody else brought up to me that I did not know about. And this one came out, I think, roughly the same time in the 70s. Maybe I'm wrong. Taking a look at it. Oh, I know it. So it's Korean. And this is Miss 45. Supposed to be another very sexy woman killer coming. So, yeah, this was recommended to me if I liked, thriller down here. I was like, I haven't watched this. They're like, you definitely need to. So I said, I need to go ahead and get it. Also found it on eBay for relatively cheap. This is all regions with a English dub, I believe. I don't know if it has the English subtitles on it, but I might have fucked up on that because I always like watching foreign movies with subs instead of dubs. But I think I only paid $6 or $7 for it. So we'll see with that. We'll watch that this weekend. This, I believe, is a CD. Hans Fulfillment Department. I don't recall ordering so very little. Oh, so it's 2 different albums. Came from from Tribes, the Neurot Records. So this is the brand new Neurosis album. I have to read it off here because I can't read it on An Undying Love for a Burning World. I was told that I need to check it out. I started listening to it, and it did remind me a lot more of Times of Grace, a little bit of Eyes of the Storm. This is, I think, the first one after Steve has left. Whoever beat his wife and kids. My bad. Like, I have a ton of Neurosis material, but it's not like it's ingrained in my mind on who did what, because it was always a side thing. I had other bands I liked more, but I did like what I heard from this album, so I went ahead and picked it up. I mean, I don't care too much for the sort of shitty digipack, but what can you do? And also, I picked this up since I was going to buy that one. Save on shipping, pick something else up. This is Guiltless, Teeth to the Sky. This was very interesting. It kind of reminded me of Nut to a degree. I'm mastering things at the same time. This is going to be the new Conjuration Trance up here. And for some reason it didn't have the entire selection set to do so. So that's kind of stupid. But anyway, I listened to this. It reminded me a lot of Nut, or I can't remember the band after Crowpath that they started. Reminded me a little bit of that as well. So I went ahead and picked this up as well, because you don't get so many bands that sound like that anymore. Alright, next one on the list. Should keep this for last, because that's my releases. So let's go with this box. Headsplit Records. Excellent label. If you like some dank fucking grind, some dank, stanky grindcore death metal. Here's the Headsplit Records newsletter, number 58. I do like every time that I get one. I should order more often. I mean, old school zine. At one point, I should have something, or try to present something to Headsplit. I'm just a very abrasive personality to deal with for that. But there's one specific reason that I went ahead and purchased recently, because this came out. And that's Fake Dust. And that's the first one here. I can't read the fucking thing. Decrepitizing din of cerebral cytopic. I might have fucked it up. Either way, this was a fantastic fucking release. Perfect marriage of grinding death metal. Like, old school death metal. I mean, close to Fallen Christ, but not utilizing single foot blasting more. Maybe closer to Cryptic Void, I want to say. But maybe a lower tuning. Really enjoyed this fucking release. I mean, to the fact where I was like, no, need to get that since that just came out. I love the presentation of it. I love the artwork. Very fucking dank. And of course, if I'm going to order something from a label, I'm going to order a couple of things. So, this is Zoldier Noise. I listened to a little bit of this. Kind of reminded me along the lines of, like, Axis of Perdition, Revenge, but not quite that. I mean, it's blasting. It's kind of blackened. I only sampled maybe like 30 seconds a song, because if it was consistently like 3 or 4, I was going to go ahead and pick it up. I like the look of everything. I think it's French. Looks French. Made in Canada. You know, very well might be French or French Canadian. But I did enjoy what I heard, and I can't really wait to dissect what I heard here. And then the last one here that I picked up was Bogside Sniper Squadron. The new, I think this is the self-titled album. Very reminiscent of Origoscillant. Kind of clues of Grand Belial's Key. But talking with the Irish Catholic Republic. Really enjoyed the earlier material, the demo and whatnot. I have that on, I think, tape and the CD. So I went ahead and got the new one as well. Very, very fucking good. From what all I've listened to, because I do try to limit listening to the entire album unless I'm not going to be able to get it physically. If it's going to be a digital album, I don't really give a fuck. So, this next one, Nuclear Blast Records. And there's only one reason I went ahead and got this, and that's because for some reason I've neglected getting this Nails album. The Every Bridge Burning. I really like Nails. They're not a grindcore band. They're a hardcore band as far as I'm concerned, and I don't really care what anybody else says. I do like everything that they put out. Unsilent Death is the best release they've done. And with that being said, even as far as they've been going, getting a little bit more death metal oriented, kind of like how Full of Hell has done, to a degree. But I don't remember, I think I've heard Imposing Will off this album. And it was one of those things that I was basically like, okay, I'm going to get that. And then realize I never picked it up. So, I've liked everything that Nails has done. But it's not a grindcore band. So, good band, not grindcore. Also, like how Jarhead Fertilizer is. Used to be a power violence band. Also, not anymore. They're a death metal band. So, I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of this album. And then I went ahead and picked up this Macabre EP. I do like Macabre. Been listening to them since Gloom. Fish Tales was one of the first songs I've ever listened to them about. And I just loved like how technical the bass playing was. The guitar was just kind of like swaying back and forth. The vocals were insane. And the drums were definitely out there. And I really love that shit to create what they have done with their entire world here. So, did not have this. This is Morbid Campfire songs. Saw it for like, I think it was $4. 5 songs. Like 15 minutes. And they continued on having the, everything's pretty technical, bizarre, out there, weird to a degree. It's not like outer worldly type of death metal. It's just like what you expect serial killer fucking death metal should be around. So, I'm looking forward to listening to this and all the song titles. I do know the references to the serial killers they're talking about, so that's kind of fun too. Last one from Centipede Abyss. and I failed, and I need to sharpen this knife or go ahead and buy a new one. This one is pretty fuckered. I have to just go buy me a new knife. Because it's also getting... I mean, I can't even cut through fucking paper anymore. Or packaging. Might be time. Call it a fucking day. Because I'm going to be opening something one day and just be like... right in my fucking chest. I've already done that once with a razor knife. And here we go. And I can't pronounce my fucking own band name. Hold up real quick. Atmosatia. Atmosatia. You know, it's like atmosphere, but it's like Italian. Ben can correct me on that and tell me how retarded I am. But if you look at my song titles, you would understand how I approach things. I like to say things that I can say no matter what without having a guide. At least it's stuff that I normally say. But this is our debut on Centipede Abyss. Me and Ben from Venomous Echoes. CD and everything came out. Fantastic looking in the layout. Absolutely do love this. Not sure if we... Oh, unknown. I might have to correct that. Because I know that we were... I don't know if that's going to be... Oh no, it's evil. It's a female form. I actually forgot most of these lyrics that I wrote. So, I'm going to have a fun time going back and reading all that shit. Because this is something that we did 3 years ago, I want to say. And it was supposed to be for I Void Hanger. And then he was like, well, you know, kind of wish it was longer. 3 years later. Even though he's released both of our material from other stuff. And that's why he did give it a chance. I don't know if that sounds salty or whatever. It's just more of a, hey, maybe, you know, tell us so ahead of time. We could have been on that shit. But either way, as far as I know, there's only a few more of these left. To my understanding, to my detriment of knowledge. So go pick these up at Centipede Abyss on Bandcamp. And if you're a fan of like technical, dissonant, death metal, kind of blackened, along the lines of Aosoth is what I would compare us to most accurately, because that's who I also was trying to channel vocally. But that's it. Got my normal stuff going on, doing some new black spells, doing another new band with Juan and Nick. Thousand Cuts, Misery Monger, doing some Noise Project, sampling up the Melonless Mac. That'll be interesting. Thank you, Dirt Nap. So anyway, I'm going to shut it down. About to go cook up some sausage. Good night.